YouTube, Cool Tune is here, and it is top tier again as we're going into the top 8 grand finale and top deck list of the new pack day. But I'll spare you for the first match, where we're going to be seeing Super Quantal Mech King Great Magnus instead against Blue Eyes White Dragon. Holy moly, this deck is super spicy. It's got Radiant Typhoon, it's got Canine, and of course, the main Quantum Quantal cards here. If I watch as long as you can, that greatly supports the event, even if you have me on in the background. Hajime.
There can only be one winner, and you're looking at it. Let's go.
Start this off with a Vision Draw 2, discard away the Forbidden Droplet. As we're now with the Swen, Come to Me chant. We're not committing to our normal summon yet. Unfortunately, we're now under Droll, and we could chain search our deck before the Droll resolves. We're also wondering when the best time our Veiler or Impermanence could be used. With the Red Xyz, we're going to have the quick effect to destroy a monster on the field. And that's it. What do you want? We got Drolled, we got Veilered, we got Impermanenced, and we still have at least one disruption. Once per turn, pop a monster. When do we want to get popping? Now, we don't want the Link one to search for the field spell, then additional summon a Sage. We have the black layer searching for the layer 19, and now we're going to speed this up because we're out of disruption. Maiden of White's going to play a True Light from the deck, Grabby Wishes from the deck, discard Nibiru, add from the deck 2 cards, Roar and Sage. We're going to use the Roar to summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck, trigger the Maiden to Reborn, Wishes equip onto the Blue Eyes to then turn it into a Tyrant. First, we're going to make a Wish, another Spirit with Eyes of Blue that we tried to deny earlier. Now we go into the Tyrant. And with the field spell, as I said earlier, we did not want him to additionally summon a Sage. Also reborn out a Blue Eyes White Dragon. Is this lethal damage? Right? No, there's no way. Double attack, 42 double attack, 25 and then 33. 25, 33 is not game. Okay, we're gonna reset the Impermanence. Red layer is going to be negated in the damage step because this negates the activation of a card activating Engrave. Negates. Attack again. No piercing. 25. And then how much off from lethal are we? 600 damage off. Almost game. Lordy Load, reborn a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the grave. As we turn both into the Hieratic Seal, we have non-target bounce. We have Ultimate Dragon, we have Veiler, we have Drill Beam negate and banish, Impermanence negate a monster, 5 disruptions. This is a problem. We have a Kaiju. Just draw the Kaiju. Yeah, okay. Understandable. Chant the draw phase, grab the Eldum. As we're now going to start the turn with the Eldum searching for Swen. Swen searching for Vision for our draw 2. Let's go into the Gossip Shadow, which can now attempt to negate Veiler. As Veiler's being used on the Zayden, this will turn the Veiler into both players draw a card, which could turn the Veiler into an additional disruption. Now we're going to just Imperm negate that Gossip instead of allowing both players to draw one card. Because of our chance of drawing another hand trap, I guess we decided is not going to be as likely as them just drawing an extender or a combo starter. They have already committed to their normal summon though. Zayden with the effect to tribute itself is going to be negated, but it's still sent from the deck by cost, the green layer, which will discard the trap to randomly draw into an Illusion Gate mate. Destroy as many monsters your opponent controls. You have to destroy something. So I was thinking, like, can we maybe destroy our own monster, then summon from their grave? No. As possible, we have to destroy the opponent's monsters, then we could summon a monster from their grave. I don't know what happened. We have MST and that's it. Now, MST is going to be a disruption because it could stop True Light. Could stop Lordy Load also. Stop the field spell. That's all we have though. I didn't know that we had Lara, Doom, Z, Radiant Typhoon and the Quantals. It's just really unfortunate how much hand traps the opposing player is having. Additional summon the Sage, tribute off the Spirit, Blue-Eyes Dragon, Light Storm Dragon, take away that MST before it can take out the True Light. Now that the True Light is safe from MST, True Light, grab the Wishes. Wishes, discard Parry Reese map, grab the Roar Blue Eyes plus a Sage, activate Roar, summon Blue Eyes from the deck, trigger Maiden, Reborn, Wishes onto Blue Eyes to turn it into a Tyrant Dragon. Tyrant Dragon can recycle the impermanence in grave, take off the Gossip, trigger, reset. Full loss on the attack of the Light Storm Dragon. Lordy Load Reborn from the graveyard, not the deck, to ensure that he does not draw. Spirit Dragon to give him a single draw. Can we stop the Illusion Gate? Let's find out. Reborn of Blue-Eyes Dragon. Now, the Spirit Dragon has to go into an ultimate. By going into ultimate, only then would we be able to negate. But then we have Droplet to negate the negate. We don't have a Drill Beam to negate the negate, negating the negate. Maiden of White, Reborn back. Now, even if he had Drill Beam, Droplet could send the gate to dodge the Drill Beam. Illusion Gate. Half your life points. A once per duel effect. That's how powerful this is. Destroy all of their monsters, then special summon a monster from their graveyard. Spirit Dragon is jumping. What are we jumping in? What are we doing? Jump into an ultimate. Okay. Ultimate can trigger engrave to reborn a Spirit Dragon, stealing the Tyrant Dragon to be impervious to an impermanence, or even the non-target pop trap. Lightstorm's going to recycle back the Roar from Engraver to be used next turn. We have to control normal monster to even use it. And the Ultimate Dragon's D is going to be way too... no, I was thinking the D is larger than 3k. Tyrant recycle from our own grave. Super Quantal Mech Sword. Then pass. Okay, we just have Droplet. Previous turn we had MST. Now we just have Droplet. Oh my Jesus. Now, Droplet cannot reduce the attack of a Blue-Eyes White Dragon. Only affect monsters. Additional summon Sage. Sage search for the Maiden. Normal Barrel. Reset the Drill Beam, not usable this turn. We're going to link off into Heavenly Sphere, which does nothing on our own turn. Spirit Dragon's going to jump off into a Crimson Dragon. Crimson Dragon searching for the Synchro Rumble to reborn back from Engrave. We're going to be reborning a Blue Eyes from the grave with the load. We're now in the lock, the effect monster lock. Cannot activate any special summon monsters for the rest of this turn. That was an interesting Crimson Dragon play. True Light, reborn the Blue Eyes. Now the Hermetic Seal could just bounce the Tyrant back into our own extra. The Drill Beam can negate anything. Veiler can negate a monster. Ash can negate an interaction with the deck. Imperm can negate a monster on the field. Forbidden Droplet, send 3 to negate 3. Drill Beam, negate. The effect attempting to negate 3 freaking cards. We couldn't send a spell to make it so the Drill Beam couldn't chain. A massive negate has been negated. We could attack into everything if we weren't to get bounced back into our extra deck. And now, the inevitable end for Quantum, K9, Doom Z. White Lightning. Good job, A Mezzo. 10-0. Going second is 10 wins in a row. I don't know why. Now we're dealing with a Droll, an Ash, a Malulu fused with Femina. Femina's gonna be a disruption plus the Malulu and the Ash and the Droll. It's about 4 disruption on turn 0. In response to Q attempting to summon for the deck, Ash negates you. And then let's further fuse up with our hand into our Thalion. Target 2 cards on the field or engrave. We're going to get the Q out of here. Bounce it back. Chain Cold Tune Synchro to add from the deck and then perform a Synchro on resolution. So we can grab the Rotary and then sync with the Q in the Rotary. Very well done. Dodge Disrupt, extend into a combo. Oh my Jesus. But then the Balulu had nothing to negate, but now we got something to negate, mate. Oh my Jesus. Let's now Q, trigger, look at the top of the deck, banish a card among the top two. Rotary is going to be triggering to still search the deck after looking at your hand. Maker, even though it was negated, I guess we wanted to use it as a chain link block. Get the Crowley out of here. No Crowley for you. Reveal an RS to summon a Rico from the deck. It's crazy that Overtake doesn't require you to have no monster on the field to activate. As we go into the Cool Tune RS, ready to main phase only negate a card in the field. Rico is going to be popping the follow-up plays for Draco Tail as Mix wipes away Arthalion. This is looking pretty damn good for Cool Tune. Brain Infusion gets negated by RS. That's it, right? And then we have the Cool Tune Synchro, which will be a form of disruption. The Maker is negated, but it could still use the hand for Synchro Summon. So we add with the Synchro, then Synchro with the Maker, non-target, bounce a card back, and then we could go into the Loudness, which could then use a card engraved to be a disruption, and we could also use the Mix, which could have been a disruption. So this potentially could be a triple disruption play into a disruption, into a clip disruption, into a Veiler. There's about potentially 6 forms of disruption against a single Branded Fusion. Branded Fusion? Negate. It's a cost to banish. He surrendered so quickly, he didn't have time to banish a card by cost. We have Spenta searching for Zorora for our normal summon commitment. We had Draco Tail with 3 Lucius, 3 Malulu competing for your normal summon, also normal summoning Cartesia, possibly up to 1 to 2 to 3 times. And with losing 2 Lucius, we now added another normal summon, which the Ghost Ogre completely wiped out. And we had no follow-up play. What the heck? We don't even want to set a flame because we then can't activate the Fua loss. So we just have Fua. Is Fua good against Cool Tune? Yes. Fua great. Mate, Fua is bad against Draco Tail. Fua is bad against Radiant Typhoon. We have the Mix additionally summoned with the Rotary. If we want, we could use the Cool Tune Synchro in the battle phase for an additional attack, but we don't want to give draws under Fua loss. Now, what do we have here? We have no clip. What the clip is going on? We can, though, Cool Tune Synchro, search clip, and then we could Synchro with the non-clip, and then we could summon clip to be another disruption. So that's at least 2 Synchros during the opponent's turn. We have a Bell, we have an Ash, we have the Mix trigger, we have the Synchro itself, and then, probably about 6 disruptions. So part of the Synchro being a disruption, then the Synchro having additional play. We'll see. Negate all of that, mate. No clip, no Synchro play, can't Synchro with the field. Wow. You just got blown the F out. No way to touch the extra deck. All we have is Ash and Bell. That's it. Negate the Artemis. And that's it. Is enough. Why? What the heck? No. We screwed them, but we had no play. Because Flame's a brick, Urgula's a brick, Pan's a brick, the other traps are bricks. Our deck potentially has about 5 bricks. We have 2 of the 5, maybe 6 bricks if we play more than 1 Urgula. We had the perfect counter. They were so heavily reliant on that Synchro adding a clip to give them so many forms of disruption. Cool Tune versus Cool Tune. Begin. Maxi in the draw phase, obviously good against almost every deck, except maybe not so good against Draco Tail. They could very easily summon a single Arthalion and put up a pretty good board. Now it's going to be interesting to see what can Cool Tune do. Cool Tune searched for a mix and pass. So instead of committing to the Synchro to then end on that, we are going to just have the Cool Tune Synchro perform that Synchro play. Now we are going to use our clip on their turn, triggering the Rico to pop the back row Cool Tune Synchro. trigger the clip to permanently banish a card from the extra deck. That's going to be the opposing player's RS, just randomly. We didn't choose that. They have one more. Now, we are in a situation. This is a quick play, and this is a quick effect. It's going to negate only in the main phase, so we have to choose to possibly use this in the draw or standby. Now, what do we do with Rico and Mix? You make an RS, obviously, but RS is a 5, and the opposing player's RS just turned our Rico into a 4. So now we have to use Rico and Valor to make RS instead of Rico and Mix wants to be made to destroy the opposing player's RS. What do? We make a Loudness War instead? This is not as good as RS, so this is the level modulation effect messing things up. This is where things get interesting. What? We are using our own over the opposing player's Cool Tune Synchro? We have player priority to make this play. Add a Q. Okay, we didn't think we could Synchro off of this, right? We allowed them to get to the main phase. Now the RS could negate the Synchro, but the Valor could negate the RS. But Valor can't negate RS if we chain a Cool Tune Synchro to dodge the Valor, but then we have to use another Valor, but then we could use another Cool Tune Synchro because it's activatable more than once per turn. The possibilities are endless here. Valor negate the Q. Okay, chillin'. It all comes down to this Cool Tune Synchro quick play interaction, which the RS is now going to attempt to negate. Valor, negate the negate. And this is where Kawaki's checking for the opposing player having the Cool Tune Synchro, which he does not have. Got him. You are negated, and with you negated, my Rico now went back to level 3. No longer is it level 4 to have to summon into something else. We're going to go into a remix, which could then go into the RS afterward. We're going to do that right now. Recycle back Valor. Isn't that insane? Now, the clip is going to be able to allow us to not have to synchro on resolution. We could pass to trigger to search for a follow-up. And now the clip goes into our own RS. We have the negate ready. Randomly banished from the extra deck. Baron to floor is gone. 38-38. They both gain the same attack. It's from both players' graveyards. What the heck? Mix grab Rotary. Rotary and Mix into a Maker. That's, wow. What the heck is that? We did not want to play that out. The Mix would destroy the RS. That's an effect in graveyard we can't negate. We were going to look at their hand. The Mix became level 3 because of the RS boosting up its level, because Mix and Rotary do not make a level 4. This can get quite confusing, and I love it. Let's go again. That's all they have, though. Just Delta. We have Mix and the clip going into the Maker. Trigger clip and Maker. Our back-to-back is gone. Just like that, we only play one. Damn. Now Rico's going to be adding the clip. Let's further make the Zalin. Q trigger. Now we know exactly what's on the top of their deck. Let's further make another Maker. Rotary's now going to look at the hand. And I talked about this earlier. If we know what they're going to draw, and we know it's in their hand, and we are not surrendering, that means we are confident that we're just going to win this duel. And shouldn't Kawaki go, if he knows, he has all the information on me, nothing's hidden, and he's not surrendering, I'm screwed. Okay, let's see. Cool Tune Synchro, Max C. We know to not activate our spell to play into the Delta. We know it. Now, we wanted to Zalin negate their spell, but similar to the mandate, you could chain link block that. If you activate and they chain to your activate, they want to negate. So you have to chain another card to block the Zalin. It's out of reach. Zalin would be chain 4, cannot negate chain link 1. And Zalin did not want to negate the Ash. Should we have negated Ash? I mean, ensuring Maxi goes through, I would think, is pretty good. So that's kind of interesting. We have the Rotary with the additional summon into mix. Veiler negate. And then on resolution, or in response to our own Veiler, we're going to use the Cool Tune Synchro to add and then perform a Synchro. We could Synchro with the Maker. As we do, come forth into Loudness War. We have to know that the mix could still Synchro with the hand even though she is negated. That's why it's a priority to use our own mix to destroy mix before they Synchro. Additional summon Rotary. Rotary is just baiting. Kawaki's done. Okay. Rico, take out the field spell, clip, banish from the extra deck. Got him. Let's go. Just Ash. No clip, no turn 0 clip play. Okay. Now, double Cool Tune Synchro. This is such an insane card. Starts a combo, it extends. Now, what we're going to be dealing with is the remix. The remix is going to be able to reborn back the Mixer Rico, then be able to use their effects. We could pop the field spell, we could pop a monster, we could go into then the RS, which will be a negate and boost up their level. So level modulate, a negate with RS, a pop with the mix. I'm not going to consider the Rico as a disruption, but that's pretty much it. We just have 3 disruption. We're going to get to it to do it right here, right now. Add the mix, summon the Rico. Okay, we're going to add the clip. Clip's going to be the one initiating the Synchro. Instead of just resolving the Synchro right here, right now. Clip summon. Into RS, we're not triggering a mix. No monster pop. Randomly banish a Crackle from the opposing player's graveyard. We have RS versus RS. Our RS pins the RS. And there's no other tricks. That's it. What the heck? Kawaki's got nothing. Loudness War. Your RS now cannot even negate my RS. And if your RS negates the Loudness War, it's still 3,300 because of the field spell. So now we could just safely negate you. Mix is popping you instead. RS is going to negate Loudness War, or negate the Cool Tune field spell, I guess. And then our RS will negate you, the untargetable RS. As the Cool Tune Synchro is going to be further adding from the deck than possibly synchroing on resolution. We can't synchro on resolution. There's nothing to synchro with. Just simply add. Our field spell is protected. We keep the boost, 33. Let's look at the top of their deck. Sure, why not? Now, there is a surprise delta. If we activate this Cool Tune Synchro in the battle phase, which we're not going to because we have enough for lethal, he would then be able to negate. Let's go. Good job to MSB. 2-1 victory. It was an interesting choice, I would say, from Kawaki to choose to not use the mix to pop a monster. I don't think it costed him the duel, but we gave up on an extra disruption to instead have a follow-up, which, what's a follow-up if you lose the turn right then and there? Cool Tune, is it here to mess up the meta or what? Ash negate, emergency teleport. Let's summon the blue. Blue, grab the red layer. Joke will special summon. Joke will activate, grab a lantern alongside the red layer. We're going to Moonlit Chill onto the Ripper. Ripper's going to negate the Moonlit Chill. You cannot Moonlit on top of Moonlit after Moonlit gets negated. So remember what I said? How good K9 is? That's what's going on here. Freaking K9. Besides the Magnus, we have a rank 5 Exceeds Disruption, we have a Hand Trap or Engraved Monster Effect negate, we have the Force Release non-target pop, we also have Banish from the Hand. That's 4 disruptions without even talking about the Quantal part of the deck. So we not only having all this disruption, it also helped us play through a ton of hand traps. That's the situation with K9. Now, on top of 4 disrupt, you could not add from the deck. I can non-target, return a card on the field back on the deck, and I'm completely unaffected by card effects. What are you gonna do? Also at 3,600, Mix would activate the search. Can't. Remixes here, which will get non-target spun back into the extra deck. Ripper negate the Engrave Mix trying to destroy a monster on the field, which would be the Ripper. Red layer, target the white layer, reborn it back on the field. Lupus in the end phase into a Jax on summon. Pop the Remix, which is only a quick effect during the opponent's turn, thus does nothing here. Was the Magnus needed to win this? Obviously not, but still very cool. 1-0, let's go. I'm not complaining. I like chaos. Rico, I do potentially fear the effect it's having on the overall player base, though. I don't know. How is it affecting all of you? Has this been good for you, bad for you? Are you being overwhelmed by so many good decks being released in a row? Is it completely kicking away all the other rogue decks from being playable? I think when Draco Tail and Mitsurugi were at full power, it felt like you couldn't really play rogue. And then we had, what, 2 weeks or a week where Mitsurugi and Draco Tail are nerfed, and then, hey, it's time to play rogue, but now we have Cool Tune. Is Cool Tune going to be replacing the spot that Mitsurugi and Draco Tail were having of suppressing all the rogue decks from being playable? Let's negate the second effect, mate. So, negate the second effect. So Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, negate the second effect, which is Chainlink 1. Being the second effect, is the Chainlink 2 is the first effect. Yes. Double set pass. Now we need to get the clip on the field for the Cool Tune Synchro to even be able to Synchro. We can't Synchro with the Zalin whatsoever here. We have the Veiler. We're going to be searching with the Synchro to ensure that the Zalin can negate something. Now, we could have protected the case for K9 from being negated. It did not have to get negated, but it was our choice to not block it with the emergency teleport. By chaining emergency teleport, it would be out of reach from the Zalin to negate. So this tells me we valued the E-teleport more than the case for K9. Correct or not, that was our value play. Set the release, and now, emergency teleport, better than grabbing a K9, but then gets negated. Main phase Veiler. We did not play around Veiler by using it within the draw or standby or even the battle phase. We're going to turn it into a Typhon though. Plan L. Before Plan L activates, we're going to further Cool Tune Synchro, grab a Mix, special summon the Clip. Clip's going to Synchro with the Mix into Maker, searching for a follow-up. We're going to pop the Typhon, and we're going to banish a card randomly from the extra deck. We are under the effect of Fool Lost. They Fool Lost early on. Randomly saying goodbye to the Jax, as we have Q ready for the next turn. We have normal summon Q, normal summon Rico. Field spell allows us to double additional summon. 1-in-1. Special red layer. Zayden's going to special summon as we then get hit by Max C. Creature kill. Where are your K9? Well, we bridge into K9 with Ripper. So there we go. Moonlit Chill on the summon. Ripper is going to negate. Not today, mate. So you could be thinking, why do this? I guess we view Ripper as something that would negate Rotary, right? We don't want Rotary to get negated on the next turn. So we want Ripper to use its final material to be searching the deck instead of negating something from our hand. Now, even under the effect of Max C, we are still special summoning. What are you doing? Add from the deck, Chainlink Block in the red layer from the Bell, negating the effect to Reborn from the grave, giving them a draw under Maxi as we dump from the deck. White layer is now triggering to add from the deck as the draw negates. Disallows, I should say. So we could add from the graveyard instead of from the deck instead. Further making the luster as we're no longer affected by Maxi drawing per summon. Summon from the deck into the blue layer. Let's use the field spell to turn the blue layer into a blue Xyz. What do we accomplish here? The luster is a quick effect to negate a monster. The blue is a quick effect to destroy a back row. The Ripper is going to be able to negate something activating from the hand or engrave, if not Chainlink blocked. This is not very good. I don't know if you need me to tell you that. Detach, negate the mix. Now, with the mix being negated, it's still going to be, even while negated, be able to use the hand to perform a synchro. Negated mix, synchroing with the hand into the RS. And now we're destroying the blue, Chainlink Block and Destruction with the Rico. We can negate the Ripper, negating the Rico from destroying the field spell. And we don't care. We don't put that much value into destroying your field spell, so we allow you to negate when we could have negated your negate. Blue's going to trigger to return 3 cards back to the deck to do nothing beyond that. Synchro overtake, summon for the deck, Rico on summon, search our deck for the Rotary, Rotary activate, Ripper already negated, but we would then negate the negate if it had not. Let's go into the Zalin, trigger the clip, banish from the extra deck the red mech as we now go into the track maker, that is. Rotary trigger, look at the hand, mess up the top cards of your deck. We now know exactly what you're going to draw into if we don't win this turn. Let's now go into the cool tune back-to-back, 3,200. All of our tuners can declare more than 1 attack per turn. RS will now be super boosted, 5,300 double attack, 32, and over 10,000 damage with the RS. We have Ghost Spell negating the white layer from attempting to add from the deck or graveyard to our hand. Not today. Attack 1, attack 2. The deck's got a pretty good turn too. Damn. And it could have been better. If they made the clip activatable on your own turn, they could have made remix and clip activatable, because clip would have then similarly worked like Femina. Femina's usable on your turn and the opponent's turn, but even with those restrictions purposely imposed on the deck, it's still very freaking good. Oh my Jesus. 2-1. Hajime. Cool Tune Field Spell allowing the additional summon of the clip. We're now going to tribute off the clip to summon from the deck or add to the hand. Ash negate. Mate. That got us good. What? That completely ended our turn. Oh my Jesus. What were our other options here? Clip could have been used with Ash to make a crackle. That's not really a good play. We now have Veiler attempting to negate the mix, which we're going to chain the Cool Tune Synchro to dodge the Veiler on the mix, as we then use the Call of the Grave to finger the Ash. Thus, we will successfully dodge the Veiler. It all comes back to the Veiler. Finger their Ash. Add. Synchro. Veiler has no valid target to resolve its negate on. Mix will now be searching. Maker will further be searching, as we did already commit to our normal summon. Thus, we could, if we want to, add the field spell, but now we can't to additionally summon the queue, as the Droll disallows us from adding. Rotary is just going to be that additional summon anyway, playing right through a Droll, summon for the deck of Rico. Rico could add from the grave. Come back to us mix, as we now synchro with the mix and on field, remix. See how crazy efficient this deck is? Playing through hand traps like nothing. Now, technically we didn't play through the Ash, we just fingered it. But we did play through the Droll by adding from the grave. We did play through the Veiler by being able to synchro chain to dodge it. And for some reason, we have lethal damage already. What's this? Another Tenpai deck? What is going on? How does it play through so many hand traps and still perform lethal damage? This is crazy. It's so crazy, the game's bugged. Okay, we're back. Let's see. Q on summon, summon for the deck, our mix. Grab our Rotary, another copy, hit him with the Droll. And we're adding from the deck for you. Rotary, additional summon the Rika, which could have added from the graveyard if we would have synchroed first. Vsauce Amritara is here. Q's going to trigger to look at the top of their deck. Rotary is going to trigger to look at their hand, even though it's not able to add from the deck due to the Droll. Our own Vsauce couldn't add the trap if we're playing that. And as I thought, instead of the Crackle, we go into the RS. The Clip's going to randomly banish away a Little Knight. All right. What the heck did we end on? Why did we summon this? I don't understand. Why? Vsauce here to do nothing. And Mix does nothing. We have Bell and Veiler. Okay. Let's add in the draw phase to play around a potential Droll. Q on summon. Veiler negate, Call by the Grave mate, but then Bell to negate the negate mate. Negate the called by. Now, Q and Ash could make a Loudness Roar to then Q, look at the top of the deck, banish a card, and then ensure whatever they're going to top deck into. Is it worth doing that, or do we just hold on to Ash on top of our negate? He's doing what I said. Loudness War is now going to allow us to ensure that he top decks a Moonlit Chill. Okay. Woo! Damn, what'd you draw into, bro? Oh, you setting it? Okay. We're just gonna win off of RS, huh? RS is pinning him down. You activate, I negate. Loudness War is also making the RS indestructible by card effects. Also can't be targeted. I can negate. And the Loudness War also, so we made a little mistake here. Not really, because we win next turn. We should have chained the Loudness War to the Overtake, because it says that it has to be the direct activation to the opponent activating an effect. The RS does not have to. So you chain the War to banish from your graveyard. You banish a Clip to banish from their extra deck. You banish a Q to mess up the top of their deck. And then you RS negate. That's if we knew we didn't have lethal next turn. But you definitely want to do what I said. Okay. 2-0. Begin. Sage with Eyes of Blue on summon. Veiler onto you. Ultimate Dragon negate anything on the field. Drill Beam negate anything on the field. Veiler negate a monster on the field. Ash negate an interaction with the deck mate. Not bad. Through a Veiler and Bell, we have a decent amount of disruption. Now, we have 5 disruption if we keep the Spirit Dragon on the field to negate something activating Engrave, which we might do. Let's see. We are keeping it. So I will say 5 disruption until it's no longer 5. Negate with the Ash. And then we are not keeping it on the field to negate something engraved, so we're going to go down to 3 disruption left. Ultimate Spirit is here. Now, Bell can negate the True Light from turning on the Drill Beam. Veiler negate the Mix. You got to remember, Mix is still going to be able to synchro with a card in the hand. Now, we see the hand, but a Mezzo doesn't. Now, hopefully a Mezzo is not thinking, all right, I negated you, but now I need to get rid of you, because the Drill Beam says you are going to be targeting a monster, negate its effects if you do banish it. We can't negate its effect. It's already negated. So you flip this up, you're going to be banishing your own card. Don't do it. We're not doing that. Let's Reborn the Maiden. Rotary, additional summon Bell. Banish Bell? Okay. Get the hell out of here. Huh? Well, good job to Blue Eyes. Bell could not synchro with Rotary, and, we could have just synchroed with Bell and the Mix on field if we wanted to. Okay. I love Sekiro. How many times can I play? I probably have beaten Sekiro 10 times. And I'm sure there will be 11, 12, 13, 14. I'll keep on playing it, but I just can't keep doing it in a row. I gotta space it out. Maybe every 3 to 6 months I could play Sekiro again. Let's look at the hand. Banish a card off the top of the deck. So it's an interesting resolution chain here. To make a more informed resolution of Q, of what to allow you to draw into, first I look at your hand, I know exactly what you're working with. Then I choose what you're going to draw into. Then after knowing the top and knowing your hand, then I perfectly search for my final card. This is crazy. This is insane. You have perfect information. I know everything you have. You have 0 surprises. And we have a ton of plays. This is the type of thing I think a rogue deck should do and then end on something crappy. It's like, yeah, my field sucks, but I know what your hand is. I know what the top of your deck is. This is still setting up a ton of disruption. You gotta play through Maxi, Ars Negate, remix into a Synchro, into triggering a card Engrave, into the Cool Tune Synchro is gonna be another form of disruption at least. What are we doing here? Negate the barrel, and we're gonna grab a tuner from the grave and summon a tuner, and then optionally perform a Synchro summon. Because we add Clip, we now don't have to Synchro. We can now use the mix to trigger on field to add a follow-up, but we are just going to perform the Synchro right here, right now. Maker will search for a follow-up or a card we could use to Synchro with, because the Cool Tune Synchro can Synchro with the Maker plus a card from the hand. We have the mix wiping away the barrel that's already negated to ensure it does not go into the link 1 to additional summon into the stage. Wipe it out. Randomly banish the Lightstorm. And we still have the Clip, which could come forth and Synchro with Maker, trigger Maker to non-target, bounce. Wait, we don't want to return Ash back to the hand? Are you returning their Ash back to their hand? Yeah. Okay. Well, I mean, again, we know what their hand is. Loudness War, Rotary, take a look at the hand again. All right, yep, that same hand as before. All right. And search for a Cool Tune Synchro. And then end the duel. Babu, 78, tribute summon for the deck mate, but I'm at 8,300, so I don't care. Finish him. Nuts. Let's go to game 3. Cool Tune versus Blue Eyes. Game 3, top 4. Lordy Load, Ash Negate. We got Bell and Ogre. Ogre hard counters Blue Eyes. This is a card you would side deck in for this matchup. You want to Ogre the True Light. And then when you Ogre the True Light, it activates to wipe away their entire field if they don't have a Spirit Synchro to then negate the True Light, wiping away their field. This says you cannot activate effects of monsters on the field this turn. So now Ogre is going to destroy True Light and you're going to lose all your monsters. Okay. Spirit Dragon. Ogre? What? The Spirit Dragon cannot activate. I mean, we were in a spot where it could have, and now it can't. Whoa, Synchro Rumble. It just protected the Crimson Dragon. But then that dies anyway. What the heck happened? We forgot that Ogre exists as a card. We just didn't expect it. Because we used to play around this back in the day when this was a more popular, prevalent deck. People were main decking Ogre because of this. Yeah, we really messed that up because we forgot. Clip and mix on summon. Veil or negate, we could still Synchro with our hand. Could still make a Maker. Now, we are going to clip and Maker. Maker's going to be chain link blocked by the clip to ensure that Ash cannot negate. Very good. Add from the deck. Randomly banish from the extra deck. Grab a Rotary. Further synchroing. Maker and mix into Loudness War in attack position. In attack position. Okay. Now, in response to the opponent activating, we can destroy a monster, bounce back any card in the field, banish from the extra deck. Obviously not going to be a good effect, but do we have Barrel in the graveyard? We don't. Okay. I really hope something small does not destroy this. I don't, please. Here's what I think we thought. This becomes 3,300 attack if the opponent has a tuner in the graveyard. They have a tuner in the graveyard. So why is he not 33? It's not his effect. It's the field spell that specifically gives the Loudness War 3,300 if they have a tuner on their field or grave. So maybe we thought that, and oops. Or I think what's more likely, I'll tell you that I don't think we thought that. I actually think, I don't know what to think actually. Okay, yeah. We were trying to make this. We were gonna make a Zalin and trigger Rotary. And boy, I don't care, YCS, local, regional, it would have worked. It would have been beautiful. It would have been in my YCS highlight video because you just confidently do it and they're not gonna question it. The problem is, remember, as I said earlier, I think the biggest mistake today, and a lot of people are making this mistake, and I think a lot of people are going to make this mistake on the ladder, they keep on thinking that they could just synchro with the hand. They're forgetting that that's only tied to the non-synchro cool tunes, and only one of the synchro cool tunes can you use the hand. You just can't use the hand here. Right? That's obviously what we're trying. And if Pedreco is on the chat, he'll tell you. He was trying to make a Zalin to trigger the effect of Rotary to search the deck and then end on Zalin. That was, it has to be what we were trying to do. And the Neo Ultimate protects from being targeted. So, you know, it is better to destroy this, but if it weren't for the Neo, instead we should have copied the Maker to bounce this back to the hand, which would not be negated. Oh crap. Uh-oh. And, yeah, I think it's over now, right? Set the wishes. I think we're just trying to synchro the hand. Yeah. That's it. When sent to the grave, look at the opponent's hand. And, yeah. Set the Purge. You have the Majesty. We have too much now. This is not recoverable. We get top deck into anything, it's not going to help. Way too much. Do we solve an ultimate? Ultimate to negate anything, which could negate the synchro overtake. Majesty to pop anything. Purge negate a search. Overtake. Purge negate because it's add or special summon. Damn. Negating like an impulse. Negate! You let me summon my Rotary, mate. What are you doing? She's doing nothing. She's chilling. Got him. Blue eyes for the win. Even if he could make the illegal play, he did have Ash negate Rotary. And then he would just have a Zalin. And then Zalin is stuck with having to be... Somehow the opponent would play into the Valen where they're Chainlink 2 or hiring their own cards for Zalin to negate. Otherwise, Zalin would just pretty much be a vanilla card chilling there. Holy moly. Blue eyes to the finale. Let's go. Grand finale. Cool Tune versus Blue Eyes. Cool Tune going second. We have a Bricked Driver in hand. We only have one card combo play. One combo. If this overtake gets negated by a Mezzo, it's done. It's over for Cool Tune. Begin. Lordy load, add the barrel as Barrel's now going to further set a Drill Beam ready to negate our Overtake play. With Overtake being negated, we're done. We have to draw into another one-card combo here. Let's further discard the Parry Reese map, searching for a Majesty and Valor, as we set that Majesty ready to reborn with the Lordy Load from the graveyard instead of from the deck, thus no draw for you under Fua Loss. This is a huge... I don't know what we could top deck into. Valor, Maxi, we do have a Call the Grave for one of them. Majesty, non-target pop. We then have the Drill Beam to negate and banish. I cannot believe that Blue Eyes may freaking win the tournament. Cross out. Okay. We have 2 outs to 2 hand traps, but then they have 2 other forms of disruption. We gave up on the negate for Overtake. Holy crap, we have a chance. No way. Wow. This is it. Overtake, summon from the deck into a Mix. Mix gets negated and then has nothing in the hand to synchro with. We play Valor? Yes, we do. Negate the Veiled Mate. We have not committed to a normal summon yet. This duel is turning around for MSB. What was a definitive loss is now a cope that we could win this, as Q summons from the deck of Rico. Rico on summon further searches from the deck. All of this from not negating the Overtake. That is insane. Majesty with the non-target pop of not 1, but 2 cards on the field. We're going to synchro the Rotary and the Q into the Track Maker. We are under max freaking C. Rotary, look at the hand. Maker and Rotary further search our deck. Q is not going to be adjusting the next turn, but the card that they're going to just draw into on this turn. Let's grab a Cool Tune Synchro. Rotary, looking at the hand, grabbing another Cool Tune Synchro. Or, in fact, you will be drawing into that. Now, this is the only Cool Tune Synchro that could synchro with the hand. We could add from our deck a non-clip and then perform a synchro with it. So the Maker, when sent, will be able to non-target bounce, and then the synchro we go into will be a disruption, and then we have another synchro play. This is potentially 3 to 4 disruptions. Let's see. Barrel add back. Barrel on summon, set a Lordy Load. That's no good. We're going to be setting the Drill Beam, or maybe getting rid of the Barrel before that happens. We're going to add a Mix, and then perform that synchro play. Loudness War, Mix, and the Maker. Non-target bounce. We're going to negate the non-target bounce. Now, you can't negate the non-target bounce if I chain Loudness War to copy the non-target bounce again. So we could bounce 2 cards and pop 1 monster. Yes, let's do it. Dodge the called by and bounce him twice. Bounce? Wait, bounce the Lordy Load. Okay, that bounce was really for nothing. Bounce and destroy. I guess we didn't want to bounce the monster, we wanted to pop it. Lordy Load, summon the Blazoid Dragon back on the field. And we still have the Cool Tune Synchro for another form. So I guess I should have set up to 4 disruption. Ultimate Dragon. Oh my lord, what could we even do here, right? We grab a clip, we summon clip. I mean, you know, well, the original 3 disruption ended up being the only disruption we have, actually. Did he not reset a card? Attack, and there was no trap to reset? Majesty? Why? Oh, he can't. Lordy Load says that you cannot activate your monster for the turn you special summoned with this effect. Cool Tune Synchro is going to add a Rotary within the draw phase. Now we're dealing with a non-target bounce back and double impermanence monster negate. Triple disruption mate. Rotary additional summoning the Q. Chain Fua Loss. Now, I could just choose to not activate the summon from the deck at locals. I wouldn't do that. Maybe at a YCS. Because it's a mandatory effect to summon. We will get the draw for this if you use it. Fua. Summon the Q. I choose you. Imperm negate. I could still synchro with the Rotary, which is why you want to bounce me back, but this is an additional summon. So if you bounce me back, I will just resummon back to the Synchro. Thus, we're not going to even do it. Maker is here. We're going to search for 2 cards now. Look at the hand. I cannot believe this duel. This whole duel could have just been Drill Beam on Overtake and Scoop. Imperm negate the Maker, but we have a search from the grave. We're going to look at the top 2 cards, banish away the wishes, and put the Sage on the bottom. Grabbing a Cool Tune Synchro. Add from the deck. We still have the bounce, but under Fulos, he does not want to give him a draw. And now we have Zalin. Trigger the Rico to pop the Lordy Load. Maker, non-target bounce. This is interesting. We felt that we had to activate this, otherwise the Maker would bounce us. But now the Zalin could just negate you, and then you summon from the deck and I get to draw a card. Okay. Negate the first effect. Yup, yeah, okay. Makes a lot of sense. The first effect, that would be Maker. The effect that's responding to the first effect, or the first effect to respond to an effect. Did we not draw? He summoned from, what? He summoned from the hand. What the? You had to summon from the deck and you summoned from the hand instead? Damn. Okay, that was a way to play around it. What is Zalin if you have no card to chain? Useless, right? How are they going to give Zalin a negate? Only on Chainlink 2 or higher can Zalin negate anything. Now he's a garbage card. He's straight up vanilla, 2800. This is an emotional roller coaster of a duel here. First, we're going to lose definitively. Then we're going to win. Now we're going to lose. We have Drill Beam, and we have Droll. That's it. No more play. Abe Mezzo, finish him. Grab the barrel. Roar the Blue Eyes is going to fuse with the hand into a Tyrant Dragon. We're going to recycle a trap in the grave every single turn. Non-target pop, negate, and banish with the Drill Beam. Let's reveal. Okay. Add, that is. Add the barrel. Q is here, but you're just going to get negated and banished. You're not. You what? You why? What? Okay, you are afraid of the Cool Tune Synchro being chained to the Drill Beam? Why didn't we negate and banish? Okay, I mean, we just want a fair duel, right? We're chaining Majesty to Drill Beam, so now we can't pop the Maker or it won't get negated. Now, if you Majesty then chain Drill Beam, you could negate, but I mean, it's already banishing it anyway. Okay, whatever. We're just popping and we're banishing. It's fine. It worked out. Everything is fine. We still win the duel. Easy win. Reborn. I did, maybe who was afraid of the Cool Tune Synchro being chained. And yeah, that would have messed some things up. Activate Q, chain Cool Tune Synchro, dodge the Drill Beam. White Lightning for game on top of the game 2. Damn. Rotary, reveal the Rico, search for the mix, get hit with the Droll. Could either chain the Cool Tune Synchro or just set it and use it on their turn. There's no real pressure to use this, similarly to the Magnet deck. Maker, even though it does not search for anything, it's still going to be good to make because it could be used with the hand of Synchro, and when sent to the grave, it can non-target bounce a card. So with this, we're looking at Ash negate interaction with the deck, a search and Synchro with the Cool Tune Quick Play. We could add back the Rico and mix, then Synchro with the remix, which will be able to pop a monster, go into the RS, which will be able to further negate. The level modulation of RS is, but yeah, that should mess some things up. How are you gonna make a level 9 Synchro? So I will count that as another disruption. The Maker itself returning a card back, then going into a form of disrupt. It's possibly 6 to 7 disruption. It's really dependent on what they choose to do. Imperm onto the remix, forcing its early activation. Mix, add back, reborn the Rico. Did not choose to synchro on resolution since we're going to be searching for a clip. Add the barrel. Barrel on summon is going to be setting a drill beam, which is no good for the turn it's set, obviously. On the resolution, we're going to cool tune, synchro, get negated by Ash. Let's chain the clip to further synchro through that Ash, which I think so far today, Ash on cool tune synchro has been the most impactful, even though we have so many other plays in addition to that Ash onto us. This will trigger the mix to pop barrel. This will trigger the Rico to take out the drill beam. And we have an Omni negate on the cool tune RS, only within the main phase. If you were to activate the roar, I'll just negate. So we're going to activate load to try to bait the RS. It doesn't work. We're now going to activate the roar, which I'm simply going to just negate. Got you, mate. And very easily and quickly, Blue Eyes has been clapped up by Cool Tune for game number 2. Let's wrap this up. Synchro the hand into Crackle. Crackle's going to banish a big monster. The bigger, the better, because we're going to absorb the attack. And that's going to be a plus 4,000 attack. Holy moly, but then we just synchroed it off. Crackle's going to trigger to reborn, further banish 2 cards from their action deck. They all come back to the action deck in the end phase. Ooh, Excel Synchro Stardust. Let's freaking go. Maker's going to bounce the Blue Eyes back to the hand. As we have, how much damage is this? To the 13,000 damage? Okay. Every monster can attack twice, including the Excel Synchro Stardust. Tuna double attack. Well done. 1 in 1. Let's go to game 3. Begin. Now, has the True Light already activated? It has not. So, on top of the Spirit Dragon, now we remembered we got hit by an Ogre in a previous match because we did not activate this while we had Spirit Dragon, and then this would be destroyed, and then you could have the Spirit Dragon negated from destroying your field. Good. We got the perfect play. We know of it. We just forgot that Ogre is being played in some people's decks. Search for a Veiler and a Majesty. Summon the Blue Eyes. And end. This is a really good turn 1. Negate something in Grave, which is not going to really be a valuable disruption. We'll probably go into Ultimate very quickly. We go into Ultimate, which will be able to negate anything on field, but does not destroy. So ideally it negates a spell and trap, not a monster effect. Majesty is going to non-target pop 2 cards on the field up to 2. We have Drill Beam, which is a negate and banish. We then have Veiler, we have Droll, we have Ash. What is going on here? 7 disruptions? Or it could be 6, if we don't want to count the graveyard negate. So 6 or 7. Q, negate and banish the Drill Beam. The perfect card. We negate, not negate, but we're going to dodge the negate. Get the heck out of here, mate. Now, we may Majesty try to pop you before you get to synchro with it. Maybe that might be awkward, or we have Ash. Ash is going to stop it. What the heck? We're screwed. No, we're not. Yes, we are. Oh my gosh. We can't finger Ash. Ash cannot be fingered. Why are we trying to finger something that can't get fingered? No finger. Because we're going to summon Ultimate, which stops the finger. The finger hits a wall. Spirit Dragon disallows the banish. The animation still plays even though it fingered nothing. Cool Tune Synchro gets negated. Q gets negated and banished. What do we do? I can't addition. I don't have a Rotary to additional summon. I don't have the field spell. I don't have the Synchro Overtake. We're done. Negate, I guess. We still had Majesty. We still had Veiler. We still had Droll. What the heck? Drill Beam stocks are up. Drill Beam, I mean, to be fair, You counter Drill Beam with Cool Tune Synchro. Pretty much only Cool Tune Synchro. Or I guess you could also, here are the counters. They have 3 Cool Tune Synchros. They probably have 1 Field Spell to additional summon. They have 3 other Rotaries to additional summon around the Drill Beam negate. They also have Overtake, Overtake, Overtake. They only have 10 cards to counter Drill Beam. White Lightning for game. Oh my gosh. 6 Cool Tunes. This is Super Quant K9, which apparently is becoming a thing. K9 Super Quant. What the heck? Well, as I described it earlier, I think it's because of Mitsurugi dropping. Then you know how everyone wants to put Mitsurugi with everything. Now K9 is the top engine to put in every deck. And Super Quant and K9 apparently work incredibly well. So let's check out the Ds. RB. I got to copy this right away. I have a lot of homework to do. I got to play some RB. So straight away, I'm copying this deck. Good job, Law Dispute. Radiant Typhoon, Daredevil. Well done. Dark Magician, Jack DM. Thank you. Yummy Maybach. Fiendsmith Yummy. Vanquish Soul K9. I'm looking for anything weird here. I don't see it. Sky Striker. My voice. Oh, what the heck is this? This is a big deck, boy. You got a big one here. Very nice. So if you want to get a better view of all the cards in here, holy moly. Mitsurugi, 60 card Mitsurugi Sky Striker. Out of your damn mind. Draco Tail, my favorite rogue deck. Good job, Melito. Well done. Magistus Draco Tail until the new branded cards come out. Super Quant. I have to play this. 60 card Diamond Boss. What the heck are you doing? What the heck? This is crazy. It's another deck I'm playing. There's a lot of Illusion Gate players in today's event. What's going on here? Illusion Gate, destroy the field, reborn a monster from the opponent. What else? And then a 41 card version, a tamer version to play it, Creature Killer and Diamond Boss. Thank you. Yep, I will be playing one of your decks. And then Blue Eyes, freaking winning it. Blue Eyes Ray Wolf. What the heck? Holy Blue Eyes. Blue Eyes Chad is here. Kept it nice and simple and won the whole event. Damn. Now, let's look at the Cool Tune decks. We're going to go to the top decks page for this. I need to apply some sort of engine. Something's got to be different between their decks, and let's try to find that out. Or are they all just playing exactly the same? What? That's Crystron. So obviously that's different. I got to put a Crystron tag in here. What the heck? Okay. Super non-standard. Abdullah. What the? I thought I was looking at the wrong thing. Thank you for making me lose my mind. Good job, Abdullah. Guga. On anything crazy, out of the ordinary. What do I suspect to be different between all the Killer Tune Mad Lads? Ogre and Moonlit Chill. I think everyone will be on Bell, you know, like the tier. I think that Valor, Bell, and Ogre are going to be the mix-up. Gamma and Delta. So maybe those are just the 5 hand traps that people are going to differentiate from. Got Ogre. We have Rose Whip. Rose Whip, while on the field, summonable through the queue, is going to make it to the opponent. Can only activate 1 spell and trap per turn. 2 field spell instead of 1. 2 Bell. 2 Delta. All right, so those are the differences. What else we have here? Padraco. Super Poly, that's another big one. Super Poly with the Sea Monster to fuse in the mirror match. I'm going to be playing that version. Yeah, I got to put Super Poly on his engine thing to highlight that. I think Super Poly's the way. That is what I want. Valor and Super Poly. And Bell. Triple Ogre. No Moonlit Chill. And then we are on Moonlit Chill. Moonlit, he's on Red Nova, which I think most people would want to be taken out, right? Yeah. Still on Red Nova. That is interesting. I guess we have the room because we don't have Vidralis, but maybe I'd want more hand traps. I'm not sure about the Red Nova. Got Veiler, Bell, Ogre, Moonlit Chill. And then the number 2, the top 2. What is out of the ordinary here? We have, it's really standard across the board. It's quite insane. So if we look at the breakdown here, so you can get a better look at how the deck's built, we'll click Tournaments Only. There you go. So if you copy along the lines of this, you're in a good spot. Of the 6 tournament top-end decks, combining them all together, bam. All done. Maybe I'll put a Rose Whip filter to see that, and let's see if it has any relevant deck notes. I wanted to try the Nova, but it's kind of mid. All right. Fair. Now, I'm very much excited for the Sunday tournament because that is where people are going to be much more well-practiced. They're going to play the deck a lot more. People are going to play against the deck a lot more. The counters are going to come out. I'm going to guess that everyone, not even Cool Tune, but everyone's going to be on Super Poly with the Sea Monster. That's going to, I think, be a big one. Yeah. Because the way I think of it is, what do I not want you to do to me if I were to play the deck? And I don't want you to Super Poly me. That's going to suck. I will cry. And, yup. So play Super Poly with the Sea Monster if you want people to cry. There's the one. It's just a super rare. 2 tuners. Boom. Their whole deck, their whole extra deck, it's all tuners. Fuse them together, and you win. Okay. Very nice. So good job, Cool Tune, and all the players and everyone in today's event. And I'll see you on Sunday on twitch.tv/Decade for another Cool Tune event where, yeah, we're going to figure out what's going on. As I already said, Super Poly is going to be on my mind, but maybe some other ideas. We'll see.